Welcome to today's deep dive. I'm your host, and I'm joined today by our resident nutrition expert to talk about something that I think every single one of you listening has experienced.
Hey everyone, it's great to be here. And yeah, I am very excited to get into this one.
So here's the scenario. You wake up, right, and it is just pure chaos.
Always.
You're trying to find matching shoes, you're wrangling the family, you're checking overnight emails with, like, one eye open,
Yeah,
and then you realize, oh, wait, I need to eat something.
right, the afterthought breakfast.
Exactly. So you grab whatever is closest. Usually it's something in a crinkly paper wrapper, like a sugary pastry or maybe a cereal bar or just a massive coffee loaded with syrup.
Yeah, whatever is fastest.
Right. And what if I told you that the 10:30 a.m. energy crash, the one you constantly blame on your own lack of willpower, is actually a biochemical alarm bell that you programmed into your system at 7 a.m.?
It's such a radical shift in perspective, honestly.
It really is. Building your morning energy on that processed foundation is basically like trying to build a house out of tissue paper.
I love that analogy.
Thanks. I mean, it looks like a structure, right? It looks like a meal. But the second the clock strikes 10:30, the whole thing just completely collapses.
Yeah,
And then you are exhausted, you're irritable, and you're frantic.
and you're probably raiding the office snack drawer.
Oh, 100%. So today we're looking at a stack of nutritional research papers alongside this really fascinating clinical wellness protocol. And it's all dedicated to reclaiming your morning from that exact chaos.
Which is so needed right now.
Totally. Our mission for this deep dive is to figure out the actual physiological mechanisms behind that crash. And we're going to break down how 3 specific, highly architectural breakfast templates can entirely rewrite your daily energy levels.
What's fascinating here is that so many people internalize that mid-morning crash as a personal failure.
Oh, for sure. Like a moral failing or something.
Yeah, right. They assume they just, lack the discipline to make it to lunch. But the nutritional literature we are looking at today completely reframes this.
Okay, how so?
Well, that crash is a highly predictable, purely biochemical reaction to the fuel you just put into your system. If you start your day with isolated, refined carbohydrates, you are initiating this cascade of physiological events that you honestly cannot reverse with sheer willpower.
Okay, let's unpack the mechanism there, because I think a lot of people hear, the phrase eat healthy, and they just assume it means choosing a natural food over a processed one.
Right, which is a very common misconception.
Yeah, so like if I wake up and I eat a giant bowl of plain fruit, which is healthy, it's natural, it's unprocessed, I'm still going to experience that 10:30 crash, aren't I?
You are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even with just fruit.
Yeah. I mean, a bowl of fruit is packed with vitamins, sure, but without other macronutrients to anchor it down, those natural sugars hit your digestive tract and they are processed almost instantly.
The carbohydrates actually begin breaking down into glucose before they even leave your mouth.
Oh, because of the enzymes in your saliva, right?
Exactly, thanks to salivary enzymes. So when they finally hit your stomach and your small intestine, there is zero resistance. It is a straight shot right into your bloodstream.
And that's when things go wrong.
Right. Your blood sugar spikes drastically. Your pancreas basically panics and floods your system with insulin to clear that glucose out of your blood.
Because it's an emergency.
Exactly. And it does its job a little too well. So your blood sugar plummets, and boom, there is your crash.
The house of tissue paper collapses.
The tissue paper is gone.
Man. Okay, which brings us to the core thesis of this clinical protocol. The solution isn't just about avoiding sugar, right? It's about actively building what the research calls the magic trio.
The magic trio, yes.
We are talking about combining 3 very specific components: protein, healthy fats, and fiber-rich carbohydrates. And the source argues that when you combine these 3 simultaneously, you are physically altering the rate of digestion.
Yeah, you are essentially installing a biological braking system.
A braking system, I like that. How does that work?
Well, when you consume healthy fats and clean proteins alongside your carbohydrates, you're basically forcing your stomach to do far more work.
Okay.
Fats and proteins require these highly complex enzymatic breakdowns. Their physical presence actually triggers the pyloric sphincter, which is this little valve at the bottom of your stomach to tighten up.
Oh, wow. So it literally holds the food in the stomach longer.
Exactly. It's a process called delayed gastric emptying. And it means the glucose from your carbohydrates leaks into your bloodstream at this slow, measured drip over several hours rather than a massive flood all at once.
So it's a slow burn instead of a quick flash.
Precisely.
And the beauty of this protocol is that we can apply this magic trio template to pretty much any flavor profile without, spending an hour flipping gourmet pancakes.
Nobody has time for that on a Tuesday morning.
Definitely not. So let's look at the first template. This one is designed for those of you who naturally lean toward a sweet breakfast.
Which is a lot of people.
Yeah. We are looking at the power bowl of oats, but the protocol is really specific right out of the gate here. You have to completely ditch the instant sugary oatmeal packet.
Oh, yeah. You have to let those go.
The ones in the little paper envelopes.
Yes, those instant packets are hyper-processed. The oats are rolled incredibly thin, and they're pre-cooked.
Why does that matter?
Because it strips away much of their physical structure. And then on top of that, they are heavily fortified with refined sugars.
So you're basically eating sugar with a little bit of oat dust.
Pretty much. You are essentially buying pre-digested carbohydrates that will trigger the exact insulin spike we are trying to avoid.
Right. Okay, so what's the alternative?
The clinical recommendation is to use old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut oats and cook them in water or unsweetened almond milk.
And the biological reason we use those thicker, less processed oats is the soluble fiber, right? Because that's our fiber-rich carbohydrate in the trio. Soluble fiber is so fascinating to me because when it hits your digestive tract and mixes with liquid, it literally physically transforms.
It does. It absorbs water and creates this thick gel-like matrix in your gut.
A gel matrix?
Yeah, and that gel matrix is the ultimate braking system. It literally traps the sugars and the nutrients, forcing your body to slowly extract them through that viscous layer.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
It's incredibly beneficial for cardiovascular health. It lowers cholesterol, and it drastically prolongs satiety.
So you actually stay full.
Exactly. But as we know, the oats are just the carbohydrate base. To stabilize that energy, we have to complete the trio.
Right, we need to build the scaffolding.
Exactly.
So the protocol suggests stirring in a tablespoon of chia seeds or ground flaxseed, which immediately introduces a really dense source of omega-3 fatty acids.
Which are so crucial for reducing cellular inflammation.
Yeah. And then you bring in fresh or frozen berries for a heavy dose of antioxidants,
Right.
basically nature's candy. And finally, to round out the flavor and hit our protein marker, a spoonful of almond butter or a drizzle of raw honey.
And the almond butter is really doing double duty here.
Oh, so?
Well, it's providing a robust hit of plant-based protein, sure, but it's also adding even more satiating healthy fats. You've taken a simple, fiber-rich carbohydrate base and structurally fortified it.
Wow.
So the digestion of those oats is now being actively managed by the fats in the almond butter and the chia seeds.
And the crazy thing is, you are looking at maybe 5 minutes of total prep time.
Pops.
You heat the oats, you stir in the functional ingredients, and you have essentially engineered a breakfast that will keep your blood sugar completely flat and your brain functioning at a high level until well past noon.
It's such a high return on investment.
It really is.
Right.
But let's shift gears for a second, because not everyone wants a sweet breakfast. And, sometime our physiological needs change. What if you aren't just looking for sustained physical energy? Like, what if you are heading into a deep work session or maybe a major presentation and you need acute, targeted cognitive focus?
That is a great question, because that shifts our focus from simply managing blood sugar to actively feeding the brain.
Okay.
And the protocol's second template addresses this perfectly with the savory vegetable scrambled eggs.
Savory breakfast can be tricky, though, right?
Very tricky, because the default in English-speaking cultures is usually, greasy diners, heavy sausages, and refined white toast.
Right, which just makes you want to go back to sleep.
Exactly. It diverts massive amounts of blood flow straight to your gut for digestion, leaving you feeling totally lethargic.
Yeah.
But eggs, when they're utilized correctly, are arguably the ultimate cognitive fuel.
Because of the choline.
Yes.
Eggs check off the clean protein box for our triad, obviously. But the yolk is one of the most bioavailable sources of dietary choline in existence.
And choline is a direct precursor to acetylcholine.
Acetyl what? Let's break that down for everyone.
Acetylcholine. It's the specific neurotransmitter that your brain relies on for memory retention, mood regulation, and really intense focus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If you want your neurons firing rapidly across your synapses at 8 a.m., you absolutely need acetylcholine.
Okay, so eggs are a must for brain function. But the protocol is very clear that we cannot just fry a couple of eggs in butter and call it a day.
No, we have to construct the magic trio.
Right. So the method here is to start with a handful of fresh spinach, maybe some diced bell peppers or mushrooms, and lightly saute them in a pan with extra virgin olive oil.
And this brings up a really crucial piece of nutritional mechanics regarding fat-soluble vitamins.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
So spinach is packed with vitamin K and vitamin A, right?
Right.
But if you were to eat that spinach totally raw with no fat whatsoever, your body would flush a massive percentage of those vitamins right out.
Just completely waste them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they are fat-soluble. They literally cannot cross the intestinal wall into your bloodstream without dietary lipids to carry them.
That is wild. So sautéing them in extra virgin olive oil isn't just to make them taste better.
Not at all. It is a biological necessity to actually absorb the nutrients.
That is a brilliant point regarding nutrient synergy. Okay, so you saute those greens in the olive oil, which provides your healthy fats. You crack the 2 eggs directly into the pan to scramble them, providing the choline and the protein.
Right.
And finally, the protocol suggests topping it with a quarter of a fresh avocado for an additional layer of monounsaturated fats, and maybe a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds for crunch and trace minerals.
That's the perfect savory trio.
Okay, but I am going to play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
On behalf of anyone listening who is currently running 10 minutes late and desperately trying to find their car keys.
I know those mornings well.
Right. Sautéing veggies, cracking eggs, slicing avocado. I mean, the actual cooking time is only 3 or 4 minutes. But the real friction here isn't the cooking time.
What is it then?
It's the psychological barrier of knowing I am dirtying a skillet, a spatula, and a cutting board.
Ah, the cleanup.
Yeah. If I am sprinting out the door, the thought of leaving a dirty pan on the stove to congeal until I get home at 6 p.m. is just a massive deterrent.
That is highly relatable, and honestly, it's usually where a lot of nutritional protocols fail. They don't account for the friction of real life.
Exactly.
But if we look at this objectively, it is a single skillet operation. You can wipe that nonstick skillet clean with a paper towel while it is still warm in about 10 seconds.
Okay, fair.
The trade-off you really have to weigh is the return on investment. Is a 60-second cleanup worth avoiding a severe cognitive dip during your 10:30 a.m. meeting?
That's a good way to frame it.
Yeah. By consuming that choline, the fat-soluble vitamins, and the clean protein, you are setting your neurological baseline for the entire day.
Yeah, the ROI on your brain function definitely outweighs a dirty spatula.
I think so.
But let's acknowledge reality. There are mornings where even a single skillet is a complete deal breaker. Like, the alarm didn't go off, you overslept, and you literally have 0 minutes to spare. And we know that skipping breakfast entirely usually just guarantees you will eat double the calories and processed junk at lunch.
Oh, without fail.
So what is the protocol's zero-time emergency lever?
The emergency lever is the grab-and-go clean smoothie.
Okay.
And the only prerequisite for this is keeping a stash of frozen fruit and greens in your freezer. If those are stocked, you have a fail-safe that requires no cooking and no cleanup beyond just rinsing a blender blade.
The recipe template here is incredibly straightforward. You basically throw a handful of spinach, half a frozen banana, a scoop of clean plant-based protein powder or hemp hearts if you prefer a tablespoon of peanut or almond butter, and your choice of coconut water or unsweetened almond milk right into the blender.
That's super simple.
You run it for 30 seconds, pour it straight into a travel mug, and you are backing out of the driveway. So what we have engineered here is essentially a liquid nutrient IV drip that you can take in the car with you.
You know, I actually want to challenge that metaphor.
Oh, really? Why?
Because an IV drip is exactly what we do not want happening in your body.
Fair point.
An IV bypasses the digestive system entirely to dump nutrients and glucose directly into the bloodstream for this massive, instantaneous spike.
Right, which goes back to what we were saying about the fructose.
Exactly. If this smoothie functioned like an IV, you would crash by 9 a.m. The reason the smoothie works is because it is the biological opposite of an IV. It is a time-release capsule.
Ah, that is a fantastic correction. A time-release capsule. Because of the triad.
Precisely. You have the fiber-rich carbohydrates from the spinach and the banana. You have the structural protein from the hemp hearts. And you have the heavy satiating fats from the almond butter.
So even though it's blended up.
Right. Even though the blender has mechanically broken down the food, all 3 elements of the magic trio are present. Meaning your stomach still has to work through that fat and protein, releasing the energy slowly.
That makes total sense. And the flexibility of this time-release capsule is incredible.
It's totally modular.
Yeah, you can customize it on the fly based on what your digestive system is demanding that specific morning. Like if you are feeling sluggish and know you need more motility, you just toss in a spoonful of chia seeds for extra fiber.
Exactly.
Or if you need a richer texture and more lasting physical satiety, you drop in a piece of frozen avocado. You are checking off every single box of the Magic Trio while you are literally driving to work.
The customization is key because it shifts the power dynamic.
What do you mean by that?
You are no longer at the mercy of whatever prepackaged bar happens to be sitting in the pantry. You are actively designing your fuel.
Designing your fuel, I love that. Okay, so we have these three incredibly powerful architectural templates. We have the 5-minute sweet oat scaffolding, the brain-boosting savory egg scramble, and the 30-second time-release smoothie.
All great options.
But knowing the mechanics of these templates is totally useless if you, the listener, feel too overwhelmed to actually implement them.
Right? Execution is everything.
Moving from theoretical knowledge to daily practice is where most people hit a wall.
And the clinical literature we are pulling from actively recognizes this behavioral trap.
How so?
Well, people listen to a deep dive on nutrition, right? And they get a surge of motivation. And they decide they're going to overhaul their entire dietary identity by tomorrow morning.
Oh, I have been there.
We all have.
Okay.
They aim for absolute perfection, and by Thursday, they are totally exhausted and back to eating sugary pastries.
Because it's unsustainable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why the guiding philosophy of this protocol is progress over perfection.
Progress over perfection. So the challenge laid out for you is remarkably low barrier. You do not need to throw out everything in your pantry tonight.
Please don't.
Yeah, save your money. You just need to pick one of these templates. Maybe the oatmeal sounds appealing to you, or maybe the smoothie fits your commute better. Pick one and try it just twice this week.
Just twice.
That's it.
And when you do, the protocol asks you to practice active observation.
Like paying attention to how you feel.
Yes, pay attention to the subtle physiological shifts. And to frame this, the literature introduces a really profound concept. And the concept is food is information.
Food is information.
Right. We usually think of food simply as calories, as just raw energy. But on a cellular level, food is literally a set of instructions.
Instructions for your body.
Yes. When you ingest real, structurally intact ingredients, proteins, fats, and fiber, you are biochemically sending a message to your endocrine system, your brain, and your gut.
Wow.
You are telling your body that resources are plentiful, that it is nourished, and that it can operate safely at maximum capacity.
I love looking at it through that lens because if food is information, what kind of message are we sending our nervous system when we toss a hyper-processed, sugary cereal bar down our throats while sitting in stressful bumper-to-bumper traffic?
Oh, it's chaotic.
Is it basically sending a physiological panic text?
It is the biological equivalent of an all-caps panic text with multiple exclamation points.
That's hilarious, but also terrifying.
It really is. It sends your blood sugar skyrocketing, which your body interprets as a crisis. Triggers that massive emergency insulin response we talked about earlier.
Right, the pancreas panicking.
Yes, it spikes your cortisol. Your body reads that sugary, fiberless pastry as pure physiological chaos.
A panic text. Okay, contrast that with the complex, slow-digesting oat bowl or the nutrient-dense smoothie.
Well, when you consume the Magic Trio, you are sending your system a calm, highly organized, bulleted memo.
I need more of those in my life.
We all do. It tells your pancreas there is no emergency. It tells your brain it has a steady supply of acetylcholine. And it tells your stomach exactly how to pace out the resources for the next 4 hours.
Wow. Everything is under control.
Exactly. A calm memo.
A calm, organized memo to start the day. So to bring all of this together, avoiding that brutal 10:30 a.m. crash has nothing to do with white-knuckling your way through hunger.
Not at all.
And it certainly doesn't require waking up at dawn to execute complex culinary techniques. It is entirely about understanding your biology and hitting that magic trio: clean protein, healthy fats, and fiber-rich carbohydrates.
The triad is the non-negotiable mechanism.
Yeah.
The recipes are just the delivery vehicles.
Exactly. Whether you deliver that mechanism through a 5-minute bowl of soluble fiber oats dressed up with omega-3s, or a savory single-skillet egg and spinach scramble designed to maximize fat-soluble vitamins, or even a 30-second time-release smoothie.
The declination is the same.
Right. Stable, sustained energy, and sharp cognitive focus.
You are fundamentally rewriting your biological baseline for the day.
So our challenge to you is simple. Keep it incredibly practical. Pick just one of these methods and try it twice this week.
Just twice.
Pay close attention to how your body responds. Notice if the mid-morning brain fog lifts, or if those intense cravings naturally fade away without you having to fight them. Send your body the right information.
And, we've established that food is information, and breakfast is the very first message you send your system each morning. But it leaves you with a really fascinating thought to ponder.
Oh, what's that?
Well, if you send a calm, deeply nourishing message to your biology at 7 a.m., how much is that single morning text secretly rewriting the subconscious food decisions you make all the way at dinner time?
Oh, wow. That is a great point, because if you don't start your day by building a house out of tissue paper, maybe you aren't desperately trying to patch up the walls at 8 p.m.
Exactly.
Something to chew on as you design your mornings. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.